This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
We are in a weather alert this evening. Over the past few hours, areas in and around St. Louis have seen some heavy rain and storms. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. Scattered thunderstorms are still around our area, and our Weather First team is tracking it. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell.
Well, we don't have anything severe to report for you, and that's a good thing. The storms have struggled this afternoon across the area because we didn't see much in the way of sunshine this afternoon. There are a few thin spots in that cloud cover, but you're looking out into Chesterfield right now, and you can see, sure, there are definitely some clouds, but nothing that looks all really threatening. And as you look to the south of St. Louis, this is the focal point for where we expect additional development. But even here and even off to the east of St. Louis, none of this stands out as being problematic other than it's producing some rain and some downpours. Another little cell is developed not too far from Grafton right now, but the ones to watch will be these farther south of St. Louis over our far southern counties. Reynolds County, Iron County, Madison County in Missouri. We do have that flood watch in effect for those areas into this evening. So here's the bottom line. There will be a few more scattered showers and thunderstorms around. We're watching for them to develop. There's still lots of uncertainty, though. One thing that appears fairly clear is that widespread severe weather will not happen in our area, certainly not in the St. Louis area. You would have to go much farther south, down towards the Arkansas border, before you get into more intense thunderstorm action. So from that standpoint, while some of us may get wet this evening, we are not talking about widespread severe weather.
And because of the uncertainty, we continue our team coverage out on the roads with meteorologist Tracy Henson.
She is live from our 5 on your side storm tracker. Hi, Tracy.
Alrighty, hi Mike and Ann. So things like we've talked about are pretty smooth sailing out here. Take you to our front camera. You can see those clouds. They are a bit daunting at times, and there have been a couple of breaks, but luckily they've been very thin breaks. We don't want to see any sunshine today because that would mean we'd get some severe weather, but it looks like we're pretty much out of that threat here. Taking a look at the back camera view, you can see there's a little bit of sunshine off in the horizon here as we're looking down to the south. That's also where I was looking at the radar and saw a storm closer out that way, and that would be more towards St. Peter's. So that would actually be to our west. South when you're thinking about it being in the car. But anyways, so far so good. We're happy to see it today. Back to you.
And you can get the Weather First forecast on your phone just by texting the word weather to 314-425-5355.
Tonight, a 9-year-old boy is recovering after being shot in St. Louis County. This marks the 3rd child shot in the St. Louis area in just 3 days. Our Justina Cornell was at the scene. She joins us live from the St. Louis County Police Department in Jennings. Justina.
Yeah, so after that shooting, we spoke to the grandma, and she said she recalls hearing 17 gunshots go off, and one of those bullets hit her grandson. Now, this happened all this morning. St. Louis County Police responded to the 10700 block of Spring Garden Drive in Glasgow Village at 9:44 this morning. Investigators learned the boy was inside his home when someone outside fired several rounds. His grandma, Janie Leggett, believes it wasn't a targeted act. She lives right next door to her daughter and grandchildren. She said she heard the gunshots and then heard screams. Mom came out screaming, saying her son, Jason Williams, was shot in the arm. We're told he was in his room, most likely in his bed.
I just heard all gunshots, like pow, pow, like fireworks. They shot like 17 times, but for no reason. My daughter haven't did nothing to no one. Nobody. We don't even know why somebody would even come out here and shoot our house up.
Fortunately, we're told he is expected to be okay. As far as any arrests, we're told none have been made so far. Reporting live, Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.
Today's shooting is the 3rd one this week involving a child in our area. And on Monday, 7-year-old Darnell Macon accidentally shot himself after finding a gun in Berkeley. His grandfather, Walter Macon, is now charged. Later that same day, 5-year-old Dariah Lathan was shot and killed in Belleville. Police are still investigating what led up to that shooting.
A Phelps County deputy is charged with possessing child porn. Justin Durham was arrested today at the Sheriff's Department in Rolla. That's after investigators got a tip about child sex abuse material on one of his devices. He's now behind bars without bond.
A Nashville, Illinois police officer is recovering after he was stabbed during a wellness check. Police were checking on a man who was having a mental health crisis last night. Police say the man took out a sharp weapon, stabbed the officer in the neck, and then barricaded himself in the bathroom. After a 5-hour standoff, that man was arrested, and the officer is expected to be okay.
Well, we've heard a lot about how so many Hyundais and Kias are being stolen, but tonight we're learning about how some are being found. And today, St. Louis County Police honored 2 police officers who personally recovered nearly 200 stolen Hyundais and Kias combined. Our Christine Byers joins us now with the advice one officer has for owners. Christine?
That's right, Mike. The Kia boys, as they've become known for spreading how easy it is to steal these cars on social media, are still wreaking havoc in the St. Louis area. But St. Louis County Police have their own Kia boys who are on the right side of the law. In 2022, nearly 3,000 Hyundais and Kias were reported stolen in unincorporated St. Louis County. Officer Andrew Jones found and returned 101 of them, the most of any single officer. He was honored during today's St. Louis County Police Board meeting. His work resulted in 7 arrests, 5 felony warrants, and 4 misdemeanor warrants. The department estimates the cars he was able to return to their rightful owners were worth about $1.46 million. Officer Jones takes his work personally.
It hurts me to see these people suffer and have their property that they've worked very hard for and that they put a lot of their money towards that they may not have otherwise, towards these vehicles and towards this property, to just have it taken from them by somebody. Being able to get that property back to them is just very rewarding for me.
Now, the other half of the county's Kia boys, Officer Justin Keim, was off duty today, but also got a commendation for finding 76 stolen Hyundais and Kias last year. Both officers say the best deterrent are steering wheel locks known as clubs. If they ever found a stolen Hyundai or Kia that had one, it was sitting in the back seat because the owner didn't use it or it wasn't properly attached.
Today marks 9 years since Michael Brown was shot and killed by an officer in Ferguson. The teen's death led to protests in our area and all over the country. Today there was a ceremony on Canfield Drive where that shooting happened. There was a moment of silence and a memorial with stuffed animals in the street. The Michael Brown Senior Chosen for Change organization will hold a fundraiser in gala tonight starting at 6. There will be scholarships handed out. One is in honor of Michael Brown Jr. Another scholarship is in honor of Alexandria Bell. She was the student killed in a school shooting at Central Visual and Performing Arts High School in St. Louis last year.
Some of the nation's most prominent black faith leaders gathered at an annual convention in downtown St. Louis today. The Progressive Baptist National Convention was born in the Civil Rights Movement and built on Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy of turning faith into political action. Several speakers paid respects to the family of Michael Brown on the 9th anniversary of his killing in Ferguson and spoke out against state legislatures moving to scrub or sanitize portions of black history in school classrooms.
We won't stop until Florida Governor DeSantis understands that slavery never benefited any African American. We won't stop till DeSantis and Florida legislation until they understand that you can't have our money if you don't honor our history.
The conference is going on just across the street from the courthouse where Dred Scott sued for his freedom. Several speakers called for an end to gun violence, more accountability for police, and expanded protections for voting rights.
Hawaii in flames. The lengths people are going to try and escape wildfires on the islands.
Inflation is growing, but savings are shrinking. What people can do to cut down on debt.